Hello guys, this is the fifth tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we are going to write a program to compute simple interest for a given set of principal, time period and rate of interest. Now the formula to calculate simple interest is equal to principal times the time period in years times the rate of interest divided by 100. You have to divide the entire value by 100, right? So the program is going to be very simple, and you must have noticed that I've saved this file already. It's called simple_interest and has the extension .c. I've declared the header file, the main function, and you see the curly braces, so we're all set to type in our code. Now we are going to need 4 variables in this program, and 2 of them are going to be integers and 2 of them are going to be floats. Now floats are different from integers. If suppose you want to use a number, let's say 100 or 200 or 250 or 175, then you can declare that number as an integer. But if you want to use a number like 8.53496 or 10.7824, then you have to declare such numbers as floats, because such numbers have the decimal point. So the difference between an integer and a float is that with a float you can use a decimal point, whereas with an integer you cannot. So we are going to declare the principal and the time period as integers, and we're going to declare the rate of interest as a float. And of course the result of the entire calculation is going to be have the decimal point, so we will have to assign the simple interest to a float as well. So let's declare our integers first. For that I have to type in int keyword, and I have to name my integers. I'm going to call principal PRIN, and I'm going to call time TIME, right? And put a semicolon at the end to terminate my statement, and then I'm going to declare rate of interest, and I'm going to call this variable rate. That's RATE. I put a semicolon to terminate this statement, and another statement to declare the variable SI. That's going to hold the value for simple interest. So SI is a short form for simple interest. And now I'm going to initialize these variables. So what value should I give? Let me give a value of 10,000 to principal, and I'll give a value of 10.5 to rate of interest. Let me give a value of 3 to time, and now I can compute the value of simple interest as SI is equal to PRIN times, we have to use the multiplication operator or the asterisk symbol here, RATE, that's the second variable, rate, times time, and you have to divide the entire thing by 100, right? And you have to put a semicolon at the end to terminate the statement, and now you can display the value of the computed simple interest by using your printf function. So printf, and within double quotes, let me type in a string first, simple interest is let me just use the equal to symbol here. Now another thing that you would have to notice is that we cannot use the %d format specifier to print a floating point value. The format specifier that you have to use to display a float is %f, right? So that's another thing you have to notice. And of course we just have to display the variable SI, so I'll type in SI after the comma. I put a semicolon to terminate the statement. I'll save the file, and I'll click on build and run, and you would see the output of the program in just a second, and it is simple interest is 3150.00000, right? And you can verify that. Let me bring up my calculator, and just a second. So the values that we've used are 10,000 times 10.5 times 3, and the simple interest value is 315,000, and you obviously have to divide it by 100 to get the value, then that's 3150. And you would notice that although this number doesn't have a decimal point, but still the result that we've obtained has the decimal point, and it's followed by a 1 2 3 4 5 6 zeros, right? So that's because we've declared simple interest as a float, and each time you would display it you would see the decimal point, and if it doesn't have any value after that, you'll see a bunch of zeros, right? So that's all for this tutorial. In the next tutorial we're going to discuss something interesting again. See you guys there.